Hello everyone and welcome to my presentation. I'm Bahareh Asadpour, presenter of our team. As you can see on the screen, the title of our paper is a novel deformable registration method for cerebral magnetic resonance images. An overview of topics that I'm going to talk about are introduction, literature reviews, then proposed method, experimental results, and finally conclusion. Image registration methods play an important role in many cerebral image processing algorithms such as brain volumetry, parcellation, and segmentation. Generally, image registration is determined by a spatial transformation between two fixed and moving images to align them in each other. The registration algorithm can be divided into the rigid and deformable categories. Rigid transformations such as geometric affine, rigid body, and so on applied a same mapping to all the voxels of the image. They are commonly used for primarily global alignment of different medical images. In contrast, deformable registration methods match the local differences between moving and fixed images. A non-rigid transformation is simply defined by the displacement vector fields U to match every voxel X of the moving image to the corresponding voxel Y equal X plus U in the fixed image. So, in this paper, we proposed a novel deformable registration algorithm based on calculus of variations. For example, Horn and Schonk proposed the optical flow model based on the Taylor series of the moving image intensity to locally match two subsequent frames as shown in equation 1, where gradient is the gradient operator and I indicates the sequential frames. By solving equation 1 for all voxels, the optimal deformable registration model is obtained. In another work, Bayaz and Kavosic used the elastic model for registration of human brain images as shown in equation 2, where lambda and mu determine elasticity constants. This model was developed based on the Navier linear elastic formula for the displacement vector field U and illustrates the transformation of a deformable elastic material under the influence of the external force F. In some applications, the deformation ability of the elastic model is too limited to register significantly wrapped image. To solve this problem with image coherency maintenance, Christensen introduced the viscous fluid model for image registration based on the Navier-Stokes equation. In general, the external force in both the elastic and viscous fluid models causes deformation in the moving image to align with the fixed image. Despite the widespread use of algorithms such as the elastic model and optical flow, all of them take advantage of the total amplitude of the first-order derivatives of the deformation field as the energy functional regulator. However, the global minimum of such energy functional is achieved only when the deformation field would be constant in whole the spatial domain. Obviously, this solution doesn't match with typical requirements of many registration applications. For solve this problem, in this paper, we suggest use of the total amplitude of higher order derivatives of U as the regulator term of the energy functional. For example, for the second order derivatives, the optimal solution would follow linear variations. Therefore, we propose the following energy functional in equation 3 for our deformable registration method. In this equation, IF and IM are fixed and moving images respectively. Mu is the regulator weight coefficient, W is the intensity coefficient. For more details, equation 3 consists of two terms. The first term is the regulator and second one is the external energy. By minimization of the latter, the difference between the moving and fixed image reduces, while optimization of the former makes the deformation field U regular and differentiable. Also, the intensity coefficient W is considered to adjust intensities of the fixed image with respect to the moving image. The optimal deformation field and intensity weight of the proposed registration method can be obtained by minimization of the energy functional as shown in equation 4. Since the deformation field U is an unknown function, according to the calculus variation theorem, the optimal U can be obtained by solving the Euler-Lagrange equation. Finally, with some computing, the optimal energy functional can compute with equation 5. Since this equation is nonlinear, it should be solved numerically. According to the gradient descent algorithm, the optimal deformation field can be obtained as equation 6 by an iterative algorithm. Moreover, the optimal intensity coefficient can be obtained by solving the equation 7. By some algebraic manipulation, we can obtain W with equation 8. This process is continued until both U and W don't change anymore. Then, to evaluate the performance of our method, we choose 150 3D empirage magnetic resonance images from ADNI database. As presented in Table 1, our image base consists of 3 different categories: 50 cognitively normal images, or CN, 50 images with mild cognitive impairment, or MCI, and 50 images with Alzheimer's disease, or AD. Also, the average age of subjects in all categories is over 73 years old. In all these categories, the brain structure suffers from physiological or pathological atrophy. Segmentation and parcellation of such images without a precise deformable registration method is impossible. So we use the template of the ICBM 152 atlas as the fixed image of our method. First, every image of our image base was registered with the template by using the affine transformation optimally computed by the rigid registration algorithm proposed by Etemadi et al. In equation 9. Then the cross-correlation ratio between gray levels of ICBM 152 and M was computed as a similarity measure for assessing the registration performance as equation 10. Afterwards, we employ our deformable registration algorithm to further register M with template. Again, after convergence of the evaluation algorithm, the wrapped image can be computed by using the optimal deformable vector field as equation 11. To evaluate the registration performance, the cross-correlation ratio between W and ICBM 152 was computed by equation 12. Obviously, the proposed deformable registration algorithm provided effective results if and only if CW greater than CM. Figure 1 in this slide compares the cross-correlation ratio of the rigid and our deformable registration algorithm for all the images in our image base. As you can see, our deformable registration method in red line provided significantly better CC for all benchmark images, 8% on average. This slide illustrates the registration results of Etemadi et al. At second column and our registration method at third column for 3 sample images from the CN, MCI, and AD categories. Fourth column shows ICBM 152 as fixed image. Again, the proposed registration method provided significantly better results compared to Etemadi's registration algorithm. It can be simply investigated in the brain ventricles. For further evaluation, we also registered 6 normal brain MR images with ICBM 152 template by using SPM toolbox based on the deformable registration algorithm proposed by Ashburner and Freestone. These results are compared with our method in terms of the cross-correlation ratio in Table 2. As you can see, the proposed algorithm provided superior CC for all the benchmark images. Conclusion. In this paper, a new deformable registration algorithm based on calculus of variation was proposed. Experimental results over a large image base of brain 3D empurage MR images demonstrated significant performance in terms of cross-correlation ratio. The performance of the proposed method may be improved by adding higher order regulator terms. And at the end, I want to thank you for your attention. Is there any questions?